Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live from Dallas trading floor. Well, it's Monday, and the markets have pulled back a little bit. Uh, Still have a little bit of issues with the bandwidth. Hopefully, we'll get that in just a second, and it will come up. But until then, I'm just going to go through some of the slides here. Basically, what we've got is the Nasdaq basically is lower. There, interestingly enough, is some strength in two areas of the market, and that's in mining stocks and in smaller banks. And we have some interesting things there. But overall, the market is kind of pulling back, and it's been kind of slow. So, without further ado, let's kind of get into it. The the market prediction is still in a confirmed uptrend, so that's very good. We're still seeing the market move up, but again, we're having issues in terms of some of the some of the larger stocks that you've been looking at. Apple is up just barely, but a lot of the other techs are down. So we do have some weakness there, and it's going to be probably a little bit more difficult to trade this market than it was in the past. But that said, we have the Nasdaq is down a little bit, about 1.15%. It's still above the 50-day moving average, but all the other major indexes are down as well. S&P 500 is down, Dow Jones is down, but we also have lower volume. So, it's just a kind of a mixed bag. It looks like we're pulling back a little bit here. Just wanted to show you a little bit more detailed chart of the Nasdaq Composite. It's pulled back to the 10-day line. It's been trading above that, which is a very good thing. We did have a nice reversal here. Basically, about 5 days ago, we had a nice reversal where the 21-day and the 10-day moved above the 50-day average, which is basically very bullish. But we're pulling back and probably giving up a little bit of those gains. The relative strength line is pointed down. So, we may be on a little bit of a, correction. I hope not, but that sort of is the way it's looking right now. Basically, I do have some stocks that are breaking out, though, and that is always of interest. One of the stocks that's breaking out right now is a company called Harbor One Bank Corp, and it's a pretty significant stock in terms of it's one of the smaller banks, but it's doing well, and it's in the Massachusetts area. It has about 26 full-service branches. Now, here's the interesting thing. The banks have been very weak up until recently. Now that seems to be, that seems to be stronger. So, just a mixed bag in terms of everything. But Harbor One is breaking out. Who knows what's going to happen there? Relatively cheap stock, 14.97. It probably is not the greatest place to buy it, but it does have that very strong relative strength, very strong, and a very very strong uptrend. So you might want to take a look at this one. The symbol on this one is let's see, HR. Boy, you know what? I can't find the symbol on this one. But anyways, Harbor One Bank Corp, and that's breaking out today. Just want to show you a chart on the volatility here. The volatility has been moving down, which is actually a very good thing. The volatility has been moving down since the first of the year. It spiked up a little bit, but the volatility is down. It's a little bit difficult to make money in a low volatility market. It's spiked up a little bit today, but again, it remains very low. And moving lower. So that's it looks like we might be stabilizing. Here's my list essentially of stocks that I currently have. Basically, they're all down, every one of them. Lowe's, it's been up. It's been a big winner for me, but it's down today. Floor also down, not that much. Ford just down slightly. I have just been holding this thing. The buy point on Ford is about 12.14, and it's down 10 cents. Micron, I still have a small share of Micron. I'm probably going to be getting rid of that as well. Corvo, it's down as well. Microsoft, Uber, and then I did buy this one today, and of course it went down, and that's Green Brick Partners. So I just wanted to show you our new our new Discord room that we're breaking out here. It's this is the easiest way to get in touch with it. It's just https://bit.ly bit.ly/ the letter 3 lowercase s p l l capital N capital U. So we do have a Discord room, and basically throughout the trading day, and then also I did a special on it today with a special bear spread on earnings for Intel. So that might be of interest to everyone out there. So let's get to some of the questions from everybody. Thanks for holding on here, and yeah, let's get into some of the questions. Thanks, Kyle. Thoughts on BNTX? I don't know BNTX offhand. Let's take a look at BNTX. I'm going to look at the chart on BNTX. And there we go. Hopefully we'll get the screen up here. And this is BNTX. Okay, German. Okay, it's personalized communications for the interesting company. I don't know much about this company, to be honest with you. It looks as if there was a consolidation and a buy point at 131. It's pulled above the buy zone, and it's currently above 140. So it definitely has seen some strong buying here. Earnings are in about 21 days, so I'm not quite sure exactly what that's going to be and what that's going to be in terms of everything. The industry rank not very good, 128 out of 197. There is good fund sponsorship. 252 funds are in it, and it has an excellent checklist. Here's what I think about this one. I can't really. Let's look at the medical biomed area. This is a composite for the entire group here, and we are currently in a downtrend. I don't know. Even though this one does look very, very good, this is in a downtrend, and I think it's going to be a very difficult play here. So that's kind of my opinion. Here's what I would do on this one. I would watch list this one. I want to see it move above the 200-day moving average, and before I'd be interested in this one. The 200-day moving average currently on this stock, BNTX. I'm going to go back to BNTX here. BNTX is well, okay. I'm sorry. Scratch what I said about the 200-day moving average. This one is done very nice, but it's extended. So I would just see how this thing trades. Currently, it's over 5% above its buy point, and in this kind of market, I think you got to be very careful, even though it does have a good relative strength. So I probably would not buy this one. Wait for it to pull back a little bit, and possibly trade a little bit than trade a little bit lower. So that's kind of what I do. It's a very good stock. It looks very good. The group, not necessarily the best group, but not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, we have a question here from somebody on TikTok about Coinbase. I traded Coinbase as I indicated when it IPO'd. I was basically in it for a grand total of 10 minutes. I bought in when it went to 400, and then I sold when it went to 420. It's come down significantly since then. It's currently trading at about 330. Tough one to trade. I know a lot of people really like this one, but I'm probably going to be back in it. I like the idea of it, but right now it has a relative strength of 1, and so I'm looking possibly to trade it after it does after it moves after it moves some more. I'm looking at least watching this for 30 days. For right now, I don't think you want to be in it. Initially it came out of the box very, very hot. Again, I jumped in it, pushed my stop loss up. It pulled back. I was out. That's sort of how I've traded it. My the idea here I think is that you just got to wait. I think it may form a really nice base, but for right now, you can't really be in it. If you're interested in an IPO that might be tradable, it's Roblox, ROBX. I think that's it. ROBX. Is that correct? Roblox. Yeah. RO. See, it's RBLX. I think that's it. RBLX. RBLX. This might be an alternative to trading. This here might be an alternative to trading Coinbase right now. This one has come through the kind of a month or so, and it's starting to trade very nicely. It has been down today. I think on a reversal, this could move up very nicely. This stock developed games, three-dimensional games for internet, basically, and it looks very strong. There was a buy point, on a consolidation, but on an IPO base, you really got to take that with a grain of salt. Here's where I would start to looking to come back into Roblox. Would be basically I would try to set a buy stop limit order at about 75 here. That would be my my sort of where I would start to be looking to possibly come into this one, right about here at 75, as you can see. If you want to take a significant, these are significantly more risky trades, so you can't, it's not like this isn't really an investment. This is for trading, but as you notice, it came out of an IPO base and then came up and it's cupped here, and I do believe that once it moves past about this 75 area, that's probably going to equal the buy point in R. So that's kind of how I would be looking to do it. Also, you'll notice that the overhead volume is drying up on this one, which is very good because that means that that's what's going to possibly spike it higher. So instead of looking at Coinbase, I think you might want to put this one on your watch list, RBLX. That might be something that that would work for you rather than Coinbase. I think with Coinbase, you just really have to you really have to be very careful on it. And I have a question from TikTok, basically that we're talking about. Yeah, see, basically this is what do you think about coin? It leveled out after the IPO, but I'm not sure because it's dropped more. Well, here's the thing about it. I do think it, it will pull back up, but you're going to have to wait some time. I think 30 days on that. That's kind of what I'm looking to see on this. So about 30 days on that, and I think you'll be fine. But in the meantime, if you want to play one, RBLX, Roblox, it's set up a little bit better than Coinbase right now. It's just been out a little bit longer. That's the main thing there. So thank you for that question. Are you still concerned with the level of margin in the market? Well, it has started coming down a little bit, but I am a little bit concerned with that, Andrew. We do have, unfortunately, a little bit more margin debt. Let's take a look kind of at the margin debt. That's a good question that you're bringing up here, and I want to kind of get a look, I haven't checked that in a few days, so I want to go kind of check that that margin debt to see kind of where we're at in terms of that. So I'm going to bring that up here in just a second. Yeah, the margin debt is kind of it's a very much of a bellwether, very much of an indicator of the market condition. And so let's bring that up and just kind of analyze that a little bit, because that's a very good point that you bring up about margin debt. And here we are, basically with looking at margin debt here. It is still moving up, as you can see. We're above. This is kind of an indicator. Basically what happens is that when margin debt gets this high, it's signaling a top. I mean, we're still in a confirmed uptrend, but I've been much lighter than I normally am, and most of my spreads are bear spreads right now. And really this is, as you can see now, of course, there's some things that are exacerbating the problem, of course. And that is, we have a situation where, there's a lot of money out there. It's very, very cheap, but this is a concern because in 2007, we had a top here, and basically we now actually have more we actually have more margin debt right now than we had in 2007. So we may be coming to a point where, where we're going to top out in the market. And so I'm setting my stops up. I'm being a lot more conservative in terms of, you know, where I'm going with the market. But that's a very good point, and thank you for, thank you for voicing that opinion, because I am concerned about the amount of debt in the market. I do think it's we may, and once the once the debt starts getting called, and it can, then you're going to see, cascading, and it will reduce share prices. So that's a very good point, and I do think we're at very high levels of margin debt right now, and I think that is a big concern, at least as far as I'm concerned. Um, let's see. Are you on? Hopefully I'm giving you. Let me make sure that my audio is working properly. It seems to be, so I seems to be good, and the video. Okay, so, and the video seems to be good as well. So hopefully I'm broadcasting right now, Thomas. I appreciate it very much. I'm also on TikTok and on YouTube, as well as Facebook. So I'm on a number of platforms right now, and that's basically. Thank you for that, bringing that up. All right. Let's see. Hey Jim, any buys now in stock? You know what? It's really tough to buy stocks right now. I did buy one that today. It's a pilot buy. Um, uh, GBR RK. It's called Green Brick Partners. Let's see. Did I get that right? Let's see if I can. G. I think it's GRBK. I think that's it. GRBK. Well, maybe Green Brick Partners. GRBK. There we go. This is one I did buy today. Very small position, but you got to be in the market to you got to be in the market. So this is the one I did buy today. I'll show you the chart on this one, called Green Brick Partners. Interesting. It's an interesting stock in that it is based. It is a company that builds houses, and I'm not normally big in this area, but it's a company that builds houses in the Dallas area as well as in the Atlanta area. These are two of the best markets in the country. It's pulling back. It's pulled back a little bit, but it's right at a buy point, and that's something that I think is it's looking pretty good. This is the daily chart. I want to show you the weekly chart on it. We have had a little small consolidation here. It's moving above that consolidation. That's kind of where I like to buy them. We'll see how it does. I mean, it's not a tremendously large company, but it definitely has some very good numbers. The sales are up 10%. The profits are up 87%, and that's quite good. 62% of the people in this are funds as well. And there's 304 funds in it currently. We have strong cash flow, 2.24. In this market where we're kind of moving away from some of the growth areas, growth stock areas, we want to look at cash flows. This is one of the reasons why two of the things that, some of the things that have been really working right now, at least, in this market, have been the mining stocks, some of the housing stocks, and and the sort of the material stocks like the lumber stocks. This one, Green Brick Partners, I like this one a little bit better. Basically, this has five, and I personally know a little bit about this. They acquired 5 communities in Dallas, and they have over 2,000 homes. And Dallas right now is one of the fastest growing areas in the United States. That's part of the reason I'm here, but that's why I like this particular stock. So that's one, Green Brick Partners, that you might want to take a look at, and it looking fairly good. Fairly good right now. Let's take another question from TikTok. What are your thoughts about Plug? And of course, this is Plug Power. Yeah, I don't think it's been doing as well, but let's look at the chart just to see. I'm not in this one currently. Yeah, unfortunately, the chart is just not being very nice here. It's just pulling back, and it's not looking good. It's fallen below the 200-day moving average. I think, if you're not out of this one, I think you might want to consider closing on this one, closing this one out, because it just looks like, at least from what I can tell on this chart, it just looks like it's pulling back, and it's below the 50-day line, it's below the 21-day, it's below the 10-day line. It's still above. And it's finally gone below the 200-day line. I just don't like to buy stocks at this level, and if I'm in them and I'm down more than 10%, I think you just have to close your position. I think you have to go to cash on this one. Plug Power, I mean, if you're down 30%, I know this is painful, but you might want to just consider selling it because really, it does not look good for Plug Power, at least in the short term. It does not look good. I'm going to take a look at the monthly chart, see if I can get any love here. Just really nothing, unfortunately. Yeah, it's got a 10-minute chart that's downward trending. I just think this one is unfortunately not a place that you can be in this. This could easily fall some more back. It right now it's at 25, but if it falls below 1902, it's probably headed south. So let's see if it gets some. Let's see if it gets some support at 19. But I truly believe that we're almost at the point where it may be coming down much lower than this. Currently, there is a support at 22.25. It was back in November of last year, but it looks like it may even be pulled below that. So I think you got to be very careful on this one. I would close your position on a Plug Power right now. I just can't recommend it based on the chart. It doesn't appear to be very just to be very strong. All right, your thoughts on rig, and you know what? I had a play on this one. I had a bull spread on this one, and I had to close it early, unfortunately, because it just didn't function the way I liked it. This one just kind of bouncing around. It's in a good area, and I do think that we will see we will see some improvement here. But right now it's trading a little bit below its 50-day moving average, still above the 200, but hopefully we'll get a reversal there. It still has a very strong relative strength. It's 95. So here's the thing: if I was in this stock, which I'm not currently, I would be a little bit, I'd obviously be a little bit careful, but I do like this industry rank. It's number 7 out of 197. So that's very strong in terms of, in terms of there. And this sector has been up basically 33% year to date. So the sector is looking very, very good. This particular stock, RIG, seems like it's rebounding, and I do believe, based on this chart, that it could easily double to 8, by in 6 months. So I'm still kind of somewhat bullish on this stock. It's going to be more volatile because it's under $10. That's just a fact. When stocks are under $10 like this, many times they can be a little bit more volatile. I'm just adjusting my camera here a little bit. Thank you for there we go. Let's see if that's a little bit better. Get a better view on the camera there. Yeah, I mean, so basically that's kind of the, that's kind of the look on it. So I still like the chart, and I think that I think it could be a very good one for you. Still, I still like it. I wouldn't, but if I was down more than 7%, I would consider trimming at this point. But overall, it doesn't seem to have a bad chart. I do believe it could be at 6 or 8. It's a very low price stock, so that might be. There we go. It's a very low price stock, so that it's a little bit deceiving, but I do think it possibly could double in 6 months. Now that said, I mean we would have to have a lot more drilling and a lot more rigs go out. But there you go. Okay, question from TikTok. What's going on with crypto? Will it take up? I don't think so. I don't think it will take over the. I sold. By the way, I did sell out of the GBTC today. Crypto hasn't been trading as well as I would have liked it. As you can see, we've fallen below the 50-day line. I basically bailed on GBTC today because it pulled below where I had bought it, so I was out today. It's trading. It seems like it's bounced nicely, but it's still quite volatile. I don't know if it'll ever replace the U.S. dollar. I mean, that's a good question, but I do think it's going to be more important. Potentially is more important than than we think it's going to be. So, in long story short, I do believe that we're going to have I do believe it's going to be strengthened, but I am not an expert in crypto. I will be very honest with you. I'm not an expert in crypto, though I do play it through the GBTC. I have exposure there, but I did sell my exposure today. Just wasn't working as well as I would have liked it to have. All right, question from YouTube. Thank you very much, Jay. CDEV. Let's look at CDEV to get an idea of what we've got there. Let's see. CDEV. CDEV, and let's take a quick look. Continental Resources, yeah, it's pulling up today. It's actually up 9 cents, which is good. I do like this sector. I'll be honest with you. This is the oil and gas sector, and this is seeing a lot of investment. It's still got a fairly weak checklist, 44%. The ownership is dropped on it, but the industry sector is excellent. It's 5 out of 197. So Continental Resources. This is the company. This is Harold Ham's company, and it's very big in the in North Dakota. They have a lot of they have a lot of they have a lot of holdings in North Dakota, and I do think that as the price of oil goes up, we're going to see we're going to see some strength there. So yeah, I do like Continental Resource, even though it looks like it's going to reverse off the 50 off of the off of the 50-day line. That would be very bullish. But again, it's a relatively inexpensive stock. It's $4.22. It made its high basically at 625. So this one could be very good. It's in a very good sector. It's a well-run company, and I do think that with the price of oil going up, it's likely to do quite well. So Continental Resources, CDEV, I think that might be a good one. Might be a good one there. All right, so let's see. Let's look at AI. AI has been doing has had some issues lately. This is C3AI, everybody, and I was in this one initially, but I just couldn't hang in it because it just didn't trade well. And but I kind of want to bring up the chart here for AI, and as you can see, this is just, unfortunately, this is just a horrible chart. It just slid. I mean, basically, it's busted. This is what happens. This is one of the reasons why you always want to sell if you're down more than 7%, because you never know when it breaks the resistance on some of these lines. It can go much lower. Now, it's traded below. Yeah, it's trading well below the 50-day line. The S&P, as you can see, the S&P 500 is going up. This is going down. So, I just think, unfortunately, this is a tough one. You're gonna have to probably make a decision. I would probably cut my losses at this point, just because I think it's just not looking very good. MARA is the next one. MARA. Let's take a look at Fernand's Marathon Digital Holdings, and of course, this is blockchain, a blockchain play, and it's looking fairly decent. It's looking fairly decent. We have, we do have some funds in it. 6%. We've got a lot of sales going on. We're still losing money, but this is a growth stock. So, and it's got a 99 relative strength. This is a very interesting one. It's in an interesting sector, not a bad sector. 50 out of 197. So that's not bad for the sector. We have a good checklist. You know what? This is looking very good, actually. This one actually, I do like this one, and I just want to look at the daily chart and see if there's anywhere we can get in. Here's the thing. It looks as if we're going to have a reversal off of the 50-day line. Currently, it's pulled below it, but it looks like it's reversing higher. Here's the thing. You might want to, you could probably swing trade this for a quick profit if you were to set a buy stop limit order at about 39.50. Here's what I would do on here's what I would do on that. With that, I would set a let's see. I would set a buy stop limit order at the 21-day line. So I'm just going to put it up here. Buy stop limit order for, and I'm looking at this one at being about 39.50. or 39.50 plus about 10 cents, and that would give us 39.60. So here's how I would possibly play this one. Uh, oh, here's how I possibly, yeah, would help if I got the right one up there. Hold on one sec. Uh, let's see, where is it? I put it together and I thought it came out. No. Well, I guess not. I'm going to have to try this one again. Oops. It's not letting me. There we go. 39.50 plus 10 cents or 39.60. 39.60. So hopefully that will. There we go. Set a buy. Yeah, we go. There we go. So here's what I would do. I would set a buy stop limit order for 39.60, which basically is right about here. It's going to be right about here. There we go. And here's what I would do. As I do think this is going to reverse, and I do think it's going to reverse higher. It's a good. This Marathon Digital is looking good. So what you would do is set the buy stop limit order so that if it comes up to 39.50, then it will activate a buy order at 39.60, and you'll almost definitely get it. So that way you get it as it's moving higher. Right now it's moving lower, so we don't want to buy it right now. We want to wait for it to reverse higher. So this is how I would play this one. I do think that you may have a good one here with Marathon, M-A-R-A. So that's how I would play M-A-R-A. And I think it's just a swing trade, really. I think that's going to be your best bet on that. It's going to be a swing trade. So thank you very much for that question. Here's what I would do on AI. I think you just got to get out of it, but MARA, I think it's got a little bit better, a little bit better potential. Let's get to the next question. There we go. Your opinion on ENPH. Let's look at ENPH real quick. ENPH. See what's happening there. Yeah, the energy phase. Okay. This is home energies. Okay, so it's photovoltaic. Good area. I do like the home area, but it's kind of a area in which there is a fair amount of competition, Roman. And right now, I don't really like this chart all this much because it does have a downward trend. Let's see if I can go back to the weekly chart to see. Yeah, unfortunately, we just have this downward trend. And I just can't be interested in that. It's got a relative strength of 90. That's good, but we have a downward pointing RS line, and it looks as if the price action is going down, and this is the S&P 500. S&P 500 is going up. This is going down, so I'm not liking that. That doesn't look good. Let's look at the industry. Well, it's 163 out of 197, so I can't get excited. 66 checklist, which isn't bad. That's my minimum, but it does have good fund ownership. But here's the thing: I think you got to avoid this one. It's just I just think you've got to avoid it for right now. It's just not it's just not in the best location. Avoid this stock. So hopefully you're not in it. I hope I haven't said anything that somebody doesn't like, but I think you got to avoid it. I just don't like this. I don't like the trending on it. So that's kind of my take on it. All right, question from TikTok. What do you think about Oracle? Well, actually, you know what? I want to show you another stock, which I do think it's an oldie but goodie, and I think this one really potentially has legs because I think Oracle is great, but I think the one that you want to look at right now is Cisco, CSCO, which was the highest. It had the most appreciation from 1990 to 2000, kind of a long time ago. But I do think we're getting back to the point where this actually might make some sense. Finally, I'm going to kind of show you the monthly chart here. It just kind of goes back forever. Okay, basically back in the olden days, in 2000, this stock was selling. Cisco was basically selling back in 2000 for right about right about 60. Okay, is right about 60 is where it was selling. Now the reason I know this is because this is exactly what happened with Microsoft. And I started trading Microsoft very seriously about 3 years ago because of this. But I want to show you an interesting thing. Uh, right now, it's looking like it's getting to the point where it may actually exceed the high that it had here. And that would be interesting because if it does, then I think we may see some new life in this. The last high on this stock was 57.88. It's currently trading at 52.85. It's up $1.18. So this is very interesting to me, and I do think that right now it's not viable, but it may be very shortly. It's got a fairly weak checklist, but it is only 15% off of its all-time high. And this is very interesting to me. The industry and sector is not very good right now. It's the networking sector, but I think that that this stock, if anything, can do big things. This is why I'm kind of digressing on this one. It's got excellent fund ownership. 4363 funds are in this one. As the tech area matures, there's going to be more demand for stocks like this that have positive quarter-over-quarter earnings. Just kind of want to show you this with Cisco. Right now, we were even. We've been losing money. This company has had sales that have been going down, but this is being reversed, and I think that we not only do we have profits going up, but I think that we might see some good stuff happening here. 38% of the holders of this stock are institutions, and it has just basically pulled right into, you can't see it on this one, but there is a buy point at 52.94, and currently it's 52.85, just right below that. So this is something that maybe in the near future, I think this one is, you want to watch list this one right now, because I do think that this is potentially a very, very good stock in the near future, but it's not ready to buy yet. And that is Cisco, CSCO, so I think you need to I think you want to possibly think about watch listing Cisco. Quite a good company, and it's sort of been asleep for a while. All right, let's see if we can get another question from TikTok. Okay, this is a good question as well. FTNT, I'm currently holding. Let's look at FTNT. Fortinet, I think this is FTNT. And this is, and there we go, Fortinet. This is a terrific stock. I think that, hey, roots and truths, I like that. That's very good. This is an excellent chart. I mean, you can't deny it. It's up. It's off a little bit after hours. We just went after hours on this today, but on the weekly chart, it's looking good. On the daily chart, it's looking good. This is just looking good. Period. This is a good stock. You don't want to sell this one. Roots. You don't want to sell this one. This is looking like a fine holding. I might look. I think that you can hold this one for a while. It's trading above the 10-day line. Everything's looking very good on this. We have the angle of this of the ascent of the price is much steeper than the S&P 500. So this is outperforming the S&P 500. Its relative strength against the whole market is 82. I'm liking that. It's a relative strength line that's going up. We're having some strong buying here. So I think that you're really good in this stock. Fortinet, I think, is looking very excellent, and I think you have a winner, at least for right now. So you want to stay in this one because this is looking very good. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other ones. I would like to get your take on Dell. This is coming from TikTok. Let's take a look at Dell. Of course, this is one of the easiest symbols out there, DELL. I love it when they're easy and I can remember them like this. And this company went private and then it went public. It's looking very, very good. Again, what's the market is preferring right now are the more conservative tech stocks, the larger ones, the ones that have solid earnings. That's definitely the case for Dell. Unfortunately, there's no real buy point on this, but it's trading above the 10-day line, which is looking very good. It's got strong it's got strong accumulation, it looks like, and overall I like this one very much. It's up on the week. It's up about 1.9294%, so that's looking very strong on the week, and up about $1.97. So very much like this one. There was there's been some major buying coming in here, so this could run a little bit more. Right now, it's a little extended. I just don't know if I would buy it at this level, just because of it's a little bit extended. But other than that, I think it's an excellent stock. And there you go. Thank you. And it spiked because of VMware. I guess Dell sold some of that VMware at a profit in terms of their holdings on it. So that's looking very good. Dell overall very good. I mean, it's sales are up quarter over quarter 9%, and the profits, that's the main thing, are up 35%. This is not really a growth stock anymore. This is really a full-fledged, very strong stock. It had an excellent per share cash flow last quarter, this year of $8. So this is a very, very strong. It's got excellent return on equity. It's just very, very good. It's got a very low PE, 13, which is amazing when you consider, it's just a major, major stock, and I think it's looking very strong. Would you buy it this way? Well, I don't think it would be. I probably wouldn't buy it in this just on technicals, but I think this is one that is going to continue to do well. I mean, I think they've won a lot of the battles in terms of the desktop. So very, very strong, and I think that's a really good choice. That's a really good point that you make on Dell. So I'm looking at least from where I'm sitting, Dell's looking very strong, and I think that might be a very, very good one. Very good one now. Okay, what to buy now for a swing? Good question, Caitlin. Very good question. In swing trading, basically what she's talking about is where do you buy it? How do you buy something breaking out and then to hold it for a short period of time? Here's one that I like for a swing trade. It's Roblox, ROBX. I think that's it. Roblox. Is that right? RLBX. I had it earlier. RBLX. Oh, goodness gracious. It's a game company. There we go. Roblox. There we go. Put this up on the screen. I like this one for swinging because it looks like it's just about ready to move very nicely. Currently today it's pulled below the 10-day line. It's also below the 21-day line, but it looks as if it may reverse higher. I do like this one. Here's the thing: you could possibly, if you were to buy this as it moved above 75, I think that would be very good. You could go a little bit earlier on that as well. You could go at about 74.10. Here's how I would play it for a swing trade. I would look possibly to set the buy stop limit order for. Let me just get this up here for you. For basically 74.10 plus about 10 cents or 74.20. That's kind of how I would. That's kind of how I would play it. So here's on Roblox, and this is what it might be one for very good one for a swing trade. I do believe that this is going to reverse because basically the way this is looking. I do believe this one's going to reverse, and I do think it's going to reverse higher. Now it will probably reverse above 75. So potentially a good place to, I think, probably get into it is right about there. Let's see if I can put the cursor on there, right? Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. All right, so that's kind of where I would sort of be looking to get into it. Buy stop limit order at 74 plus about 10 cents. So as it moves beyond that point, then I think that it could explode back up to where it has. And here's why I think that might be the case. Here is because we've already moved above that. We already have seen it move all the way to basically 83. So I do think that potentially from about here on up to about 80, 82, I think that there's a potential for a good swing trade. So that's the one I kind of like for the swing trade, at least for today. I'm not in it currently, but I may do that just on a swing trade. But thank you very much, Caitlin. Appreciate that very much. Thoughts on Jack? Jack. Is that Jack in the Box? I wonder if let's look at Jack. Jack. And thanks. Really, Jack in the Box. Yes, it is. It certainly is Jack in the Box. Um, you know, it doesn't look all bad. And interestingly enough, some of the only restaurants that have done well, of course, are the ones that have drive-through. And you know, Jack in the Box practically invented it. I remember as a little kid in Los Angeles going to the Jack in the Box. Boy, that was exciting to me. I tell you, it was very exciting. And and they had the drive-through. But you know, the drive-through works, and it seems like it's working well for them. They're up strongly, 121 on the day. I don't know kind of what's happening, but there are people acquiring this. Just looking at the checklist, is excellent. The ownership, this is one possibly that I want to maybe do a little bit of research on. This hadn't been really on my radar, the restaurants, but 513 funds in it. The industry is 71, so looking good. I mean, along with Chipotle, I think this is one of the best ones. Let's kind of take a look at the group to see if there's anything that I'm missing here on Jack in the Box. This is the overall for the entire for the entire group. Let's kind of look at, of course, at the top is McDonald's. Everybody knows McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chipotle. Yum Brands, of course. This is KFC. Let's see, Darden Restaurants. Okay, Texas Roadhouse, Wendy's, Shake Shack. So it's in a kind of a good group. It's a little bit smaller than Papa John's, bigger than Cheesecake Factory. So interesting, very interesting in that. Let's look at the similar. I like to look at the leaders. Probably the play here is going to be Starbucks, I suspect. Yeah, and I think it is. I think of the two, Jack in the Box and Starbucks, I think you kind of got to look at Starbucks because it does look a little bit stronger in terms of the fundamentals. It's trading above the 10-day line. This will do well in the reopening, and of course they have a huge drive-through trade. Huge. I mean, it's massive. Earnings in 8 days. You know what? This might be a very good candidate. I wouldn't buy this before earnings because I wouldn't buy this before earnings, but I would be looking possibly to buy this after earnings. This is looking very strong. Starbucks. It does fail on the checklist mainly because it is the sales. That's the issue. But let's look again at Starbucks. If Jack in the Box and Starbucks, I think you want Starbucks. It looks like it had declining sales, but all of a sudden it looks like it's going to be a turnaround. So this quarter could be a turnaround. If this turns around, if Starbucks turns around, this will spike higher. I'm almost positive of it. So this is one that you might want to look at instead of Jack in the Box would be Starbucks. So I think that basically, so instead of Jack, look at SBUX, Starbucks. So I think that's one you might want to look at because I do think the chart on Starbucks, it's more of a leader than Starbucks is. It's in the top three, and this is the reason. The reason I say this is because Jack in the Box, when you're in these areas, you want to be in the leaders. Okay, right now Jack in the Box it's okay, but it's much smaller than Starbucks. Starbucks is second only to McDonald's in terms of its size. So if there's a reopening trade, Starbucks is probably going to benefit more, and definitely Chipotle. Starbucks is probably going to. The market is valuing Starbucks much higher than Jack in the Box. So this is one that you might want to take a look at. But thank you for the question. Very, very good question. And yeah, so there. No offense, but I'm certain that everyone watching would much rather be looking at the chart. They would be, and as a matter of fact, you can be very, very easily to do if you're looking on TikTok. Just all you have to do is jump over to YouTube because I'm actually broadcasting on YouTube. I can't broadcast this, unfortunately. I can't broadcast this on TikTok. So if you jump over to YouTube at youtube.com/TalesTradingFloor, you'll see all the charts that I'm running. So thank you for that. And that I don't have the capability of running charts in the background on TikTok. I only have it on YouTube. But that's a good point, and hopefully eventually I'll be able to do that. And believe me, when I can do it, I will do it as quickly as I possibly can. Um, all right, good question. Thanks. You've seen the price of, yeah, absolutely it is. That's absolutely true, and you have a really good point about lumber there. Um, uh, there is a company, West Fraser Group, that is doing extremely well, and I kind of want to bring up the chart and show that, because this is one of this is part of the overall play in the market, and that is that we're seeing the resource stocks do very, very well. The mining stocks, it started with the mining stocks, and it's moved essentially to a lot of the resources play, and lumber is key amongst that, because the home building business is starting up again. As I said, I bought a small position in Green Brick Partners, which is a home builder in Atlanta and in Dallas, in really two of the best markets in the country, and they're doing very, very well. But a limiting factor for them, quite frankly, is timber. This is a good timber company. This is a Canadian firm that has excellent stands of timber, basically Douglas fir, a lot of the really quality woods that you can get. It was up. Their sales were up 50% quarter for quarter, and their profits were up almost 1,000%. This is a company called West Fraser Partners. It's an $84 stock, very worthwhile. It's just right above the buy point. And I don't have this one in my portfolio. I want this one in my portfolio because I think that this is a winner. Relative strength is 98, and if you'll notice, this S&P 500 line. This black line here. If you'll notice, this is a higher angle than that. So right now, this is outperforming the S&P 500, but it's outperforming it every day. So that's a very, very good thing. That's a very good thing. I just want to kind of look at this group. This is a really good point that this is 17 out of 197 in terms of the groups. I'm going to show you the stocks that are in this group. Louisiana Pacific. These are the stocks that are basically in the group. You've got Boise Cascade, Louisiana Pacific, and West Fraser. Now, West Fraser, I believe, is the best. As you can see, it's got the highest market cap. So if you're interested in timber and you're interested in participating in this one, I do think that this will do well, even in a bad market for techs. This is likely to do very, very well. West Fraser, and basically the symbol on this one, of course, is a WFG. West Fraser Timber, and it's a Canadian company, and very, very good, looking very, very good. It's a little bit extended, but you could buy it at this level, and this is one that I'm probably going to be putting in my portfolio because I do think it's very, very good. All right, let's take another question here. Thank you for being so patient. All right, let's look at AMAT. Great, thanks, Ajit. Your thoughts on AMAT and MA, best buy points? Well, AMAT has been doing well. There is we're in a semiconductor super cycle in which all of the companies like Taiwan Semi and Intel and AMD and the others are going to have to buy equipment to make chips. Now, unfortunately, even with the announcement of the $20 billion fab in Chandler, Arizona by Intel, we have seen Applied, at least in the short term, is pulling back. So I don't really have a good buy point on this one. I like the stock a lot, but there just isn't really a great buy point on it. The last time there was basically on this base, and it was at 69.90, and we're very far extended from that. Here's something that's a little concerning me on Applied Materials. We had a major sell-off on the stock basically on Thursday of last week. I don't know quite what's going on here, but it seems as if So I think we got to be a little bit careful. Now here's the good things about it. The profits are definitely up on this, 42%, and the sales are up. So they're looking good in terms of that. It's just for some reason there seems to be some sell-off in this area. So I want to take a look. This is a very highly rated group. So I don't. This is a very, very highly rated group here, and it is doing. It looks like it's probably going to bounce off the. It looks like it's probably, as the group, it's probably going to bounce off the 50-day average, 50-day moving average. But let's look at kind of, let's sort of look at the best ones in there. Clean, Ultra Clean Holdings, Brooks Automation. Let's look at Brooks. This is Brooks has been doing very well, and it's in a buy zone. So this is one you might want to consider. It's off a little bit today. You really can't buy it, but unlike Applied Materials, Brooks Automation is in the same group, and it looks like it is formed a nice handle here. This is not a bad place to buy it at 97. So that's my thing. Here's the thing with Jeet. I would probably put AMD on the watch list, and I'd look at Brooks Automation. The symbol for Brooks is BRKS. So so that's what I would look. So Brooks Automation, BRKS, in the semiconductor semi equipment space. So in the semiconductor, this is the one I like the best, Brooks Automation, in the semiconductor space. Let's look at MI. I just want to just take a gander, see how that's trading. MasterCard. Here's the thing about MasterCard. MasterCard, I believe, it's a good stock. It's right below a buy point. There's a buy point at 389.50 on a consolidation base, but I just can't get too overly excited about it. I think your better bet, MasterCard is sort of the past. I think the one you want to own for a long term is PayPal. PYPL is the symbol there. Even though it's pulled off a little bit, I do think this is the one you want to hold, is PayPal. Now, unfortunately, but I could be totally wrong, because I have a spread on Square, and I have been taking it in the shorts on it. I still love the company, but it's just pulling back, and so you never know. You never know on these. But right now, in terms of MasterCard and AMAT, I would probably avoid both of them. Look to Brooks Automation for the semiconductor equipment, and possibly PayPal for something in the payment space. I think that's probably your best bet on that. Okay, so let's get the next question. By I don't know what that one is. Let me go on to okay, LRCX. LRCX. And that's Lam. Okay, Lam is also another great company in the semiconductor equipment manufacturing space, but I still think, and it's right in the buy zone, but I still think that Brooks Automation is a better company. BRKX. BRKS. That's right, there we go. Brooks Automation. I still think this is a better chart, and it's a little bit lower in the life cycle on it. So that's where I would kind of recommend possibly looking, would be at Brooks as opposed to Lam Research. But Lam Research is a very, very good company. Oh, great, thank you. This is a question on Blink Charging. This is one of my perennial favorites, BLNK, and I started trading it as it moved above $10. It's just having issues. As I can show you by the trend line that I have on it. It's staying above the trend line, but just barely. So it hasn't really reversed, and it's still moving lower. I don't think you can buy this one right now. You got to wait for a reversal. Hopefully, we'll have a reversal at the 200-day moving average. But right now, I don't think you can buy it. It's just not set up correctly. But I still like the company. So BLNK. It's a watch list. Needs time. And that's really that's really what I have to say about Blink. You have to watch list this one. It needs time. It needs to reverse higher. Right now, it's not doing that. It's pulling back from the S&P 500 is moving up. This is moving down. It's diverging from the S&P 500. So I can't recommend it, unfortunately, because I really like the company. But when it reverses, I'll probably be back in it. but I haven't been in it since it topped. It's just one of the things just the way it goes. Airbnb. This is a fascinating stock. And by the way, I'm also in Uber. Let's look at Uber too. Let's. Oops, I got Siri up there. We don't want Siri. There we go. Hopefully Siri is gone and we can close out Siri. Uh, it just came up. Let's look at Airbnb, A, B, and B. And I think long term this one has just really good bones. A, B, N, B is the symbol. Bring in that one. There we go. Airbnb, and it's started getting it's starting to get it's starting to get um, enough time on it. This is the thing. You really have with these IPOs, you really have to let them. You see how it comes out. This is why Roblox, I believe, that I was talking about earlier, is so good potentially. This is a classic IPO base. It comes out and then it cups like this, and then eventually, it 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 it, it then moves above that, and that's definitely the case here. So Airbnb is looking quite good in those terms, but we have pulled back, so we're still not ready to buy it. It's still a watch list on this one, but I want to show you Uber uh, because this one is getting the institutional investment. And even though it pulled back today, it's still above the reversal on the trend line. So if you're looking at Airbnb, you might want to look at Uber too, because Uber and it's up slightly after hours. So hopefully have a reversal on this line. It looks like we might. We'll see tomorrow. It just depends. But this is the one you might want to look at. Uh, other than that, so great. All right, we have a question on CLOV. This will probably be the last one, CLOV, because it's right at about an hour. Flow of Health. And it looks like it's coming up. I just don't know much about this one, to be honest. It's relatively inexpensive. It's up after hours, and it was up in during normal trading hours, so that's quite good. It's a relative. It's not. It's got good volume. Checklist is 44. That's a little weak. Ownership 54, so we do have some funds in it. The industry ranked not so good, 139 out of 197. Boy, cause you know what? Here's the thing. I don't think I want to see some more strength in this one. It only has a relative strength of 4. I think it looks like it may be bottoming, but I think you just got to watch this one, Levi. I just really do. I think you just got to watch this one because it doesn't appear that we have enough information. So, I think it needs time. I think this one needs time. So here's what I would do on Clover Health. I would watch list this one. I think it just needs more time to come back up, and it looks like it may have pulled above the 50-day line. It may be a reversal, but it may not be a reversal because basically with the trend line that I'm showing, it's basically this would be the reversal line here. You see, it's the top two there, and it's not there yet. So it really has to pull above about $12 before I'd be interested in this one. So I think you just have to watch list this for right now. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule. If you'd like, we have a very nice new Discord room where basically I show spread trades that I'm making, how I'm trading them, exactly the exact numbers, and also help with sort of second eyes on some of the trades that you're making. Super easy to get into that. Into that, and basically you could just do it by going to this address, https colon slash slash bit.ly bit.ly slash the number 3 lowercase spll and capital N and capital U, and until tomorrow at 2:30 Central and 3:30 Eastern. Happy trading, everybody.